Imagine finding a game which is so strange, compelling and inspiring that it actually drew me out of my pseudo-retirement as an internet pundit of unworthy note. Well, that's exactly what happened with my time in Blippo Plus. Blippo has a simple but captivating premise and no traditional gameplay elements. Blippo is framed as giving the player access to an alien television and then allowing them to select channels. On its most basic level, it's a 90s television simulator. But the TV is from another planet. The transmitting planet, Blip, is very Earth-like, but with an early 90s aesthetic. Their TV is 1-minute episodes, and each channel has around a 5-minute loop. When the player, or viewer, has watched enough, the ability to download a new packet of data appears in the electronic program guide. This packet moves time on by about a week, giving you the next installment of media. The storytelling is done via this progression. The inhabitants of the planet begin getting a better and better understanding of the spatial anomaly which allows them to contact Earth. They dub it The Bend, and slowly, across multiple packets or weeks, about 11, they try sending people through it with fascinating outcomes. Outcomes which I'll not spoil in this video because you really should experience it yourself. The only additional content to the changing channels is their weird teletext, which is called Phantofax. In itself, it's an evolving narrative of text with people leaving messages and coming back to check messages, as well as a bizarre meditation guide, which I really quite enjoyed. The Blippians are goofy with an unhealthy pop culture obsession. They're also highly advanced and appear to have telepathic abilities. They continue to exist after death via something called a consciousness particle, which becomes part of the overall plot. As a viewer, Blippo is compelling for a few reasons. Firstly, it isn't a parody, not really. While some of the shows are clearly inspired by Doctor Who or daytime dramas, the creators didn't make a clear parody of any specific show. The entire thing, however, is a commentary on media, the 90s, and it's also a sort of character study on a couple of the on-screen figures. The game's not nihilistic or sarcastic in any way. While nihilism and sarcasm appear on screen, the point of the experience is really optimistic and playful. It isn't a comedy either. It's funny, its humour is dry and at times very subtle. Often the humour comes from the world building, which takes work to follow. Understanding the plot requires the viewer to pay attention and to work out for themselves what's actually relevant and what's just a cooking show about string. This works well, in contrast to the short-form, self-contained content of the real world. In some ways, its made-up world has more substance in its 1-minute TV offerings than most TikTok deep dives. It would have been really easy to make something vapid and stupid. Instead, Blippo is strangely respectful of its player or viewer's time. It's well written, intentionally acted, and the production values match the setting perfectly. When it's doing something unrelated to the overall narrative, it has the courtesy to do so in an entertaining way rather than a pompous or arrogant way. Blippo was originally released on the Playdate console, something I know nothing about, other than it's a handheld with a crank controller and it's got a mono screen. It's also yellow. The Playdate version uses streaming media for an 11-week live cycle, which keeps repeating. The colour version, which I played, uses the packet delivery system to move time on. The colour version on Steam, which I played, uses the packet delivery system and it's in colour. It's interesting that it's released first on the Playdate and then came to Steam and the Nintendo Switch. You can still revert back to the 1-bit video with a push of a button on your controller. Blip is best played on the controller or using the up and down arrows on a keyboard. There's almost no mouse functionality. I'm a little sad at the lack of impact I've seen from this game on the internet. I think it's partially because it's framed itself as a vapid channel surfer while offering a far deeper experience. This is the opposite of real life, where things frame themselves as being deep while actually being vapid. I've greatly enjoyed my time with Blippo Plus and will absolutely be experiencing it again from the start. It's not a game as much as an art piece, but don't let that put you off. It's by far the best thing I've played in 2025, and I'm deeply saddened that more people don't seem to love it as much as I do. That draws my ramble to an end. And please remember, do not subscribe, do not visit my Patreon. I'm a writer, not an influencer, but thank you very much for watching, and you can see the link to my website below.